The world is a fabric of immediate sensations. The heat of the African sun on dark skin. The sharp scent of crushed wild herbs underfoot. The rhythmic thump-minus-thump of stones breaking open marrow bones. For this clan of early Homo sapiens, life is a series of practical problems demanding immediate solutions. Water, food, shelter, predators. There is no time for anything that does not serve this relentless calculus of survival. Communication is a tool of efficiency, a grunt to signal danger, a gesture to indicate a game trail, a shared glance of understanding. The silence between these sounds is where life is lived, a deep, focused quiet born of necessity. This is the bedrock of our hominid history, a time when the mind was a sharpened speartip, not a vessel for dreams. But a crack has appeared in this silent world. It has a name. Kale. He is a small boy, no older than 7 summers, with eyes that do not just see, but interrogate, as the clan works. He sits beside the elder, Nara, who is grinding red ochre on a flat stone. Her hands, nod and stay, move with an ancient, practiced grace. She knows this stone provides the powder that helps skewer hides and marks the bodies of the dead. It is a fact, as solid and real as the rock itself. Then Kale speaks, and his voice is a strange instrument in the quiet air. Why? He asks. Not a grunt, but a word. Sharp and clear, he points a small finger at the vibrant red dust. Why red? Mara pauses. She stares at the boy, her brow furrowed not with contemplation, but with irritation. The question is meaningless. It is red because it is red. She dips her finger in the powder and draws a line on a stretched gazelle skin, showing him its purpose. This is its use. Her gesture says, that is all that matters. But the boy is not satisfied. His question hangs in the air, an invisible, disruptive thing. A few of the other clan members, skinning the small animal nearby, grunt in a way that sounds like mocking laughter. They see the boy's mind as a tangled vine, growing in the wrong direction, away from the solid tree of knowable things. The questions do not stop. When the moon is a sliver in the night sky, he asks, where did the rest go? When a sudden thunderstorm cracks open the heavens, he looks up, his face slick with rain, and asks, why is the sky angry? Each question is a stone thrown into the still pond of their existence. It troubles the others. It speaks of things they do not have words for, fears they keep locked behind a wall of practical routine. The questions are a form of vulnerability, an admission of ignorance they cannot afford. This nascent flicker of symbolic thought is not seen as a gift, but as a flaw. Mara, the keeper of the clan's lore, the hard -1 encyclopedia of what to eat, where to sleep, and how to kill, finds herself confronted by a world her knowledge cannot map. She can teach him how to survive the storm, but she cannot tell him why it is there, and in her frustration, she sees not the birth of a new kind of intelligence, but a dangerous crack in the foundation of their world. The irritation festers. Kale's questions become a source of communal friction. He is a loose stone in the well-mined, a soiled machinery of the clan. During a hunt, his inquiries distract the trackers. During the gathering, his ponderings slow the work. The world of prehistory is unforgiving of inefficiency. The boy is not reprimanded with violence, he is too small. And the bonds of kinship are too strong, but with a growing wall of impatient silence. His whys are met with grunts, with pointed gestures towards the task at hand. The message is clear. The world is what it is. A thing to be endured and exploited, not understood. He is an aberration. A mind operating on a plane of existence they do not recognize. A portrait of early humans at the very precipice of a cognitive revolution. One afternoon, as the sun beats down from its apex, something impossible happens. The light begins to fail. It is not the familiar dimming of a storm cloud, but a strained, sickly silvering of the air. A growing bite is taken from the edge of the sun. The birds fall silent. The hum of insects ceases. A deep, unnatural twilight descends upon the savannah, and with it, the primal seer grips the clan. Their world is governed by unbreakable rhythms, the rising sun, the turning seasons. This is a violation. The order of things has been broken. The clan huddles together, their dark eyes wide with terror, staring up at the celestial horror unfolding above them. The elder, Nara, is as frightened as the rest. Her vast knowledge of the physical world, of every plant and animal, is useless here. This event has no precedent in the memory of her people. It is a force beyond her comprehension, a sign of some terrible cosmic displeasure. The darkness deepens, the air grows cold. The brightest stars begin to prick the midday gloom. The clan's fear coalesces into panic. Some begin to wail. Fui, keening sound of pure animal terror. The first stirrings of what will one day be called shamanism are born in this moment. The terrified belief in unseen powers. In the midst of the chaos, Kaom is still. He is afraid. But his fear is different. It is mingled with a profound, consuming awe. He stands beside Mara, tugs on her high drip, and asks the question that has been gathering in him like a storm. His voice is small, but in the unearthly silence, he carries with the force of a thunderclap. Why is the sun being eaten? This time, the question is not an annoyance. It is a mirror, reflecting the raw, unspoken terror of the entire clan. His abstract inquiry has suddenly become the most important, most practical question in the world. He has given voice to their collective dread. Mara looks down at the boy, and for the first time, she does not see a distraction. She sees a mind grappling with the same terror as her own, but doing so with a word. The question demands an answer, not because it is logical, but because an answer is the only shield they have against a fear that threatens to tear them apart. In the deepening shadow of the moon, she realizes her knowledge of how is not enough. The clan, for the first time, needs to know why. The last sliver of sun vanishes. A black hole hangs in the sky, crowned with a ghostly white fire. The world is plunged into a terrifying half-minus light. The clan's wails cease, replaced by a stunned, whimpering silence. They are creatures of the day, and their god has been devoured. This is the moment that could break them, scattering their small community into the jaws of a world that has suddenly become hostile and unknowable. Mara feels the shudder of collective panic running through them like a tremor. She knows she must do something. The practical leader, the keeper of facts, understands that facts have failed. She turns to Kale. His question, why is the sun being eaten, echoes in her mind. It is a terrifying question, but a question is a container. It gives shape to a formless dread, and a question demands an answer. In this instant, Mara's mind, a storehouse of practical knowledge, performs an act of radical creation. The boundary between memory, imagination, and necessity dissolves. This is the birth of cognitive fluidity, the ability to connect disparate domains of thought, the very cornerstone of human creativity. She needs a reason for the darkness, a story to hold back the fear, and so she gives them one. She points a trembling, ochre-stained finger at the eclipsed sun. Her voice, rough and low, cuts through the silence. She does not use the language of instruction. She uses the language of narrative. She speaks of a great serpent, a sky-minus beast of shadow and hunger, that has always been jealous of the sun's warmth. She describes its long, slow hunt across the heavens, a hunt that has been happening since the beginning of all things. This is not a lie, as we would understand it. It is an act of mythopose is, the weaving of a story to impose meaning on a chaotic universe. She is creating a truth more powerful than the facts. The clan listens, their faces upturned, their fear momentarily forgotten, replaced by the captivating power of a story. The children stop crying, the hunters lower their spears. Mara's story gives the terrifying event an agent, a purpose. A monster is something that can be understood, even if it cannot be defeated. As she speaks, a sliver of brilliant light appears on the edge of the black disk. The sun is returning. Mara seizes the moment, her voice rising in triumph. She tells them the sun is too strong, to brave for the serpent. It is fighting its way out of the beast's belly. It has won. As the light floods back into the world, bathing the savannah in its familiar, life-giving world, the clan erupts in a chorus of relieved shouts. They look at the reborn sun, and then at Maru, with a new kind of reverence. And they look at Kale, the small boy of questions, not with irritation, but with a nascent respect. His impossible question had not been a weakness, but the seed of their salvation. He forced them to look beyond the world of the senses and, in doing so, to create their first great story. This new oral tradition will be passed down, a shield against the darkness. Nauru, in an act of pure altruism, has given her clan a gift more valuable than any tool or weapon. She has given them an explanation. The fire burns brightly that night. A snarl, defiant store against the vast. Story minus filled dark. The clan huddles close. But the silence is different now. It is filled with the resonance of the day's tale, the shared memory of the Sun-Eater. Kale sits beside Mara, quiet for once, his mind racing not with questions, but with the boundless possibilities of an answer. This event, a simple alignment of celestial bodies, has changed the course of human evolution. The pragmatic mind that knew how to make a spear has now merged with the poetic mind that can imagine a sky-minus serpent. This is the birth of culture. Every religion, every work of art, every scientific theory is a distant descendant of Mara's desperate, brilliant act of storytelling. The great project of anthropology is to trace this journey, from the first mytho-poetic utterance to the complexities of modern civilization. They did not conquer the darkness. They gave it a name, and in doing so, they took away its power to destroy them. They learned that a shared story is the ultimate survival tool.
At last,
a fire that warms the mind as well as the body. We are their children, a species addicted to narrative, forever telling ourselves stories to make sense of the light and the dark. The question that remains, echoing from that first fire, is what stories are we telling ourselves today? Humanity did not begin when we first stood up, but when we first looked up and asked why. What happens when the story becomes more powerful than the truth?